welcome. It is Christyn Schroeder here, founder of Kid Powerment, and I have with me today Aine, who is one of my dear friends, co-teachers, and somebody that I've been looking to a lot during this current situation, as she is both a wonderful teacher of yoga and music, but also has a master's degree in teaching and is in the same boat as many of us at home, working from home, and helping to educate her children. And we have been talking about how hard it has been to navigate this new normal and to help our children thrive in it. So welcome, Aine. I'm so happy to have you here to share your wisdom with us.
Thank you. I'm always glad to get to hang out and talk with you.
It's always good. I'm so curious. We've been talking about the difference between how our preschooler, like having preschoolers at home is definitely a thing. 24/7, trying to get work done, trying to provide educational content.
Very intense.
Totally its own boat. And having middle schoolers at home, like puberty and pandemics mixed together, a big deal on its own, right? That's very different.
Huge challenge for sure.
But when I'm talking to my friends right now who have kids who are ages or in the grades of 1 through 4, they seem to be the ones who are having the biggest challenge with the home education piece. And I thought it would be great to turn to you for some guidelines as a teacher, what do you wish parents knew?
The kids that are in early elementary school are in such a different circumstance right now because when you're in preschool, you're still kind of little. And when you're in middle school, you're definitely kind of big.
And there's a lot more autonomy already being developed there.
And in elementary school, when you're at school, there is a lot of autonomy. When you're at home, there is a lot less.
Right.
The difference between sending your kid off to preschool and sending your kid off to second grade is absolutely huge. What they are capable of in terms of independence and also what they're capable of in terms of academics.
Right. So what are some of the things that teachers use? Well, I'm just even going to jump straight to it. We've been talking about the importance of scheduling. And I know that there's been all of this stuff on Facebook where people will schedule out entire days. Some people will be like, our schedule is wake up, be alive, go to sleep. What though? Why is that schedule important? So without all of the jokes that go along with it and knowing and understanding that every family's schedule is going to be different, why developmentally for this group, grades really truly 1st through 4th grade, is having that schedule so imperative?
Those structures are there to help contain us, but they're not there to define us. We are not expecting the schedule to make us into teachers. We're expecting the schedule to help us remain as parents who are taking guidance from the teachers. The teaching material, the curriculum, that needs to come from the teachers.
Totally.
The support and the love and assistance, that comes from us. And the form of that love and assistance is often in setting consistent schedule, boundaries, expectations.
Right, because developmentally, especially at this age, they're in this space where they really do love that container that they know where they can exercise their autonomy, where they can exercise their self-reliance. And when they know what their parameters are, they can do so with confidence. If they don't have that, the world looks so overwhelming, and especially now that they're being asked to learn in such different ways than they're used to. And oftentimes that are not so conducive to their best learning styles.
Absolutely. I mean, you bring up a few things that are interesting. You know, when kids are not in an environment that feels conducive, they're either going to act out and resist or they're going to turn in. And so I think that parents are seeing a lot of that.
Yes.
And of course they are, because how can we be the most conducive environment for learning? We're a home, not a school. And another kind of responsibility that parents have now that usually goes to teachers has more to do with the other side of things, where teachers say, oh, I'm sorry you're not done your math, but our math time is done now. So there's different ways in which the regularly scheduled events of a day support our learning, support our development, and other ways in which it also contains it. We don't expect children to finish their work on a daily basis. When I was teaching kindergarten in Boston public schools, almost never did the day successfully address every item of curriculum that I had planned and hoped to get in. You have to stop and move on. You have to stop and move on. And that's why the school year is long.
So, Aine, with that in mind, because I think that there is a lot of pressure when there are assignments to feel like it's all to get done.
Yeah.
Like we all need to get it done, all of these different things.
Yeah.
I'm curious, knowing from the perspective of both being a parent and being a teacher, what are some of the things we just need to let go of?
So I think that, it's really important to let go of anything that feels like too much. Anything, whether that's the work, whether that's the schedule, the work that our children are being given is to help them maintain a certain level of academics and to help them continue to grow. But it isn't what they're going to be getting in school. And no one has an expectation that it is. So if some of the material is being let go of, that's going to happen. Teachers understand and expect that. If some of the schedule needs to be let go of, if we realize this isn't a good time to be doing our math, it's a better time to be taking a rest, and we'll switch that and do math later. Being flexible in letting go really of anything that doesn't seem to be serving the greatest good, which is that we're surviving this from a mental health, physical, emotional perspective.
And I mean, I do think as yoga teachers and yoga practitioners, that is the constant lesson.
Right.
The constant lesson is learning how to let go. And there's so much of that being taught in this circumstance where we're having to let go of so many different things. And sometimes that's really hard because the things that we're having to let go of are so deeply important to us.
Right.
But if we can practice letting go when we just know that, like, if you spend 15 more minutes on that math assignment, there are going to be tears. There is no reason to spend 15 more minutes on that math assignment. Take a break. You can come back to it. It's always going to be there, and letting go of that. And so I think that actually leads to one of my other things, is that allowing our kids to have their feelings and to not manage them right now, to not try to brush it away or even fix it. Allowing them to experience those feelings feels really important to me. And I'm curious what you would think about that or have to say.
Well, I think, first of all, I was thinking the same thing, right? If our kids are going to have tears, let it be about the disappointments. Let it be about missing friends. Don't make it be about math. It's like just a perfect example. We all have a lot of feelings coming up, and, letting them come out in a way that can feel useful. So feelings are real, right? But they're not permanent. And so I think it's important to remember, you're talking about looking at this in a way to let our kids express themselves, but also, and to be mindful of that, but also to be mindful that all we can deal with is right this moment.
For sure.
And so whatever we're feeling in this moment, we're feeling in this moment, but in 15 minutes, we might not be. And when we give our kids permission to have feelings, then those feelings can come out instead of staying bottled up and coming out again and again and again throughout the day or throughout the week. There's an agency in taking the time to have your feelings, just like there's an agency that we can give kids in this is your schedule, this is when you do it, this is when you stop. It's the same thing. You're having a feeling, let's have the feeling, and then let's maybe notice what happens after a big feeling. And I think another thing that's really important for us as parents is to offer some guidance around that.
For sure. And you have given us so many things to think about. I think that just having permission to be able to recognize, especially for parents who don't have a teacher hat, who are being asked to put that on for the first time, that they're not actually being expected to be that person. They're there to help provide guidance for their kids to learn from their teachers still in this new way of learning. Well, thank you so much, Aine. I hope that you and your kids have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you for providing some guidance and wisdom for our community and for the larger community as well. If you all have any questions, you can always email me at Christyn, CHRISTYN, @kidpowerment.com, or shoot us a message on Facebook or Instagram. And we look forward to being in communication and support. And as always, hope that you're well. Thank you.
Thank you.